There are quite a few golf expressions, golf terms regarding the address position in golf. And even that term requires a little explanation. The address position is the posture and alignment that you adopt before you swing. And a couple of the expressions that I thought might be helpful to share are these. There's open and closed. And that refers to a variety of things and therefore can get rather complicated and a little confusing. The line across your shoulders can be either open, which means pointing to the left of the target with a right-handed golfer, or closed, pointing to the right of the target. That's used to describe the alignment across all of the pairs of your articulations. In other words, shoulders, hips can be open or closed, knees less so, toes definitely, because it's commonly used as an alignment tool. In fact, you see people all the time with little sticks on the ground to ensure that the line across their toes is pointing at the target. Problem with that stick on the ground is that yes, it's in your field of view, but the one that really matters is up here on the shoulders, and you can look down and not really see how the shoulders are doing, particularly with a wood, with the ball position farther to the left, the shoulders might be misaligned. So open and closed is one of the expressions regarding alignment. Interestingly and confusingly, open and closed can be used as an expression to describe the orientation of the club face. We generally on flat ground aim the cutting edge, the bottom edge of the club, perpendicular to where we want to go. It's made a little bit more easy nowadays because we have these grooves on the face, and some of them are even painted to make them more visible from above. So if you set that at perpendicular to your target line, the club is called square. If it's open, you've gripped it in such a way that the cutting edge of the club is tilted to the right. If it were a clock face, it would be approaching 1 o'clock. That would be 30 degrees, of course. It's fairly rare that you would ever open the club face 30 degrees with the longer shots, but certainly with the wedge in your hand and in a bunker, you may indeed open it 30 degrees. Closed is the alternative, which is having the cutting edge turned to the left, more toward 11 o'clock on a clock face for a right-handed golfer. That's used particularly if you're trying to keep the ball low and sort of invoke a draw ball, a ball that bends to the left. So open and close with the club face, open and close with the alignment. Then we talk about hand position. A term called hand advance is where the hands are positioned ahead of the club face if viewed from where you're looking at me right now. Hand advance is typified by Jack Nicklaus's recommendations, because he always thought that the line of the shaft viewed from where you're looking would go up the left arm toward the left armpit. Now, the more actually conventional technique is to have the shaft looking up towards somewhere between your left hip and your navel. And with the woods particularly, it's fairly rare for champions to have a hand advance. Now, they're connected issues, because if you, with a wood, have the ball positioned farther left, which of course we should, and you reach over and put the club by the ball with the shoulders now, and you don't know it, aiming to the left, the club also turns to the left, and we see that. And so you say, well, that's not aiming correctly, and they shove the hands ahead. Hand advance, as that's called. Now, actually, you feel like you've complied with all the recommendations with regard to alignment and ball position, but you actually haven't, because the club is now open and the club face is in front of your right shoulder. That means that it's a down blow with an open club face. With a wood, that's pretty destructive. It'll slice off. So hand advance. Then we have forward press. Forward press is an expression, it's a fairly antique one, but it means that many golfers, to initiate the movement of a golf swing, because you've seen it, people get paralyzed when they're standing over the ball. They can't actually pull the trigger. Many golfers over the history of the game have developed a forward press. Gary Player, I always enjoyed watching him. He would kick his knee in and go. Jack Nicklaus would do it a bit more subtly by turning his left ear, stretching his arms and then going. And so a more typical one even than those two is that people just put their hands ahead and go back. So effectively they're creating at the last moment, just before they swing back, a hand advance position. Now, there have been champions throughout the history of the game that did the exact opposite. They actually started the swing and left the club behind so that the you were getting a reverse forward press before you actually started the backswing. So those are examples of the esoterica regarding the address position.